ears flicking toward the Kaurava lines. Bhishma moved. He stood tall in his chariot, his movements slow, deliberate, and entirely detached from the panic spreading through the prince. He reached for the massive, spiraled shell hanging at his side. He lifted it, the weight of the ancient instrument visible in the set of his shoulders. He took a breath that seemed to pull the air from the surrounding valley. He pressed the shell to his lips. The release was instantaneous. The sound did not merely travel, it dominated the space. It was a low, guttural vibration that surged into a high-pitched, piercing roar, echoing the ferocity of a lion claiming its territory. The blast tore through the ranks, vibrating in the chests of every soldier and sending a jolt of adrenaline through the infantry. Dust kicked up in small, rhythmic puffs around the chariot wheels as the sound waves hit the earth. The hesitation vanished. The war had found its voice, and every man on the field braced for the inevitable collision of iron and bone. The roar of the lion-like blast slowly bled away into the vast openness of the plains. For a heartbeat, the valley hung in a fragile, ringing silence. Then, movement rippled through the Pandava front. Lord Krishna reached into his chariot, his hands steady as he grasped a shell that glimmered with an otherworldly sheen. Beside him, Arjuna mirrored the action, his movements sharp and precise. They raised the instruments in perfect unison. The sound they unleashed was not a roar, but a thunderous, rolling peal that defied the limitations of mortal metal. It started deep in the ground, a vibration that rattled the chariot axles and sent tremors up through the souls of every soldier standing in the dirt. The air itself seemed to ripple under the weight of the resonance. It was a sound of absolute authority, cutting through the lingering echoes of the first blast and reclaiming the space. The horses on the Pandava side neighed and reared, their hooves churning the soil as the sound waves pressed against them. Across the field, the Kaurava ranks faltered, soldiers instinctively stepping back as the sheer force of the celestial echo washed over them. The ground trembled under the weight of the noise, confirming that the challenge had been met and amplified. The battlefield was no longer just a place of men. It was a theater of divine intervention. The final echoes of the celestial shells faded, leaving a heavy, expectant silence in their wake. Arjuna stood perfectly still, his gaze fixed on the dense, iron-wrought lines of the Kaurava army. The sheer scale of the opposition was visible now, a sea of chariots, elephants, and infantry stretching toward the horizon. He drew a long, steady breath,